Welcome back to the Coalition Friends YouTube channel. My name is Garrett, and today we're going to review The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 3. Before I get into this review, don't forget to hit that like button. It'll really help me get this video out, let more people in the Walking Dead fandom know it exists, and hit that subscribe button as well. Episode 3 is entitled Ghosts, with a synopsis of the threat of the Whisperer's return leads to paranoia sweeping over Alexandria. In the meantime, Carol battles with the need for revenge. First off, I think this is the strongest episode yet this season, which has been super strong the full time. It's super interesting. It's the more horror element rather than just character stuff. We have the whole Carol hallucinations. We have the whole walkers attacking Alexandria from the north and the south. And we have that alpha meet up with Daryl, Michonne, and Carol. And that entire scene is so good. But let's get into the deeper parts. Let's talk about things as we go. Some things about the season as a whole so far. They're using cards to introduce acts, or this time they used cards to indicate how much time had passed of them dealing with the walkers that were coming up to Alexandria, which is a mystery in itself. They're dealing with walkers for 49 hours straight. I mean, of course there's probably breaks in between because the walkers have to get there. But nonetheless, there's not enough time for anyone to get a good amount of sleep, so they're all just super tired. That was the cold open, dealing with those walkers for 49 hours. Then we get to the opening credits, and I noticed another thing. I'm going to notice something new every time, because I've seen that this has all been from the very beginning of the season, but each time I'm noticing something new. This time, towards the very end of the title sequence, we see the spikes, the 10 spikes, with some of them having their heads on it. I don't remember who, maybe the more important characters. Nonetheless, they're putting incredible detail in that opening title sequence, and it's really enjoyable to look at. So after the opening credits, we have Gamma walking up to the Alexandria entrance. She says that the walkers are not because of Alpha, and that Alpha wants to meet people at the northern border where those stakes are. And this, for me, was very interesting, I guess because Gamma is someone Alpha trusts now. She can send her, instead of having to send Beta or a written message. I don't think that's Alpha style. It's our first Gamma interaction with all of our other characters, bar her actually being on screen already, but I don't think they would have just plucked some extra out and put them in a main role. This is a role they hired her for. We then get a scene in the council room, which I think was a church. It is now the council room. The highwaymen want justice for the people they lost because of Alpha. Some of the Alexandrians want justice, and Michonne shuts them up because she's like, do you have a plan for the 10,000 walkers? And they don't, so they shut up. And she is very good at leading. I know there's a council, but even then Michonne is the leader. She was the one that Rick trusted the most after his son, of course. Everyone just has to basically do what she says. She says they're going to go talk with her because that's all Alpha wants to do. One of our other storylines, basically our B plot. So A plot is Michonne, Daryl, and Carol. B plot is Aaron and Negan. Gabriel is in charge of the northern border, and he puts Aaron and Negan together because Negan can fight. He's not doing anything important, and Aaron is not as able to fight on his own. But he gets this incredible weapon on his prosthetic arm. I don't know what it's called, but it's a ball with spikes on it. I guess that's basically what it is. But it's cool. It had the coolest death in the episode. His first time he used it on a walker, it just obliterated that walker's head. With Gabriel putting them together, he has this great line, peanut butter meets jelly, end of discussion. I really enjoy that. That was kind of like it was a kind of a joke. I took it as a joke, and even though he said it very seriously or whatnot, take it as you will. In the preparations for people leaving Alexandria, we see Carol take some medications. We don't know what they are yet. They're just white pills. And it's later revealed that they're basically caffeine pills because she has to stay awake. Really what it is she's dealing with the loss of Henry. She needs to stay awake to get rid of Alpha. So then we get them walking up to the stakes. They put all their weapons down. And when the Whisperers show up, they're in a horde of walkers. And then they're all walking normally as walkers. And then Alpha just takes her hood off. And then the Whisperers just start walking forwards more. And it's just such a cool shot of seeing the transition from them walking as a walker going to just full regular human. We get a shot of our characters on the side of the border. That's really cool. I really enjoyed that shot. And then we get one of the coolest reveals of the episode. Alpha tells them that she knows all 3 times they crossed the border. First time was in the winter when they had to cross. Second time when Aaron and Michonne crossed in the first episode. And then third time with the satellite. And instead of killing people, she understands all 3 times contextually why they had to do so. So she doesn't kill anyone, but instead takes some of their land, moves the border, and Carol says it'll affect their hunting grounds. When Carol also took those meds, she has a handgun. She had 3 or 4 bullets in it, and she has it in her back. Alpha starts talking about her son, and this was the really cool part was Alpha v. Carol. They're just talking, they're getting on each other's nerves. Alpha talking about Henry, how he was saying his mom's name when he was being killed. You know, the whole beheading thing, but like, we all hated Henry anyways. Alpha is like a very good politician because Carol goes to shoot her. Michonne moves her arm to where the bullet misses, then apologizes to Alpha in that Carol has had no sleep. She's still distraught over the loss of her son. And Alpha's like, I'll let you survive because as mother to mother, I understand the loss of a child. Because, like, Alpha lost Lydia. Lydia's with us now. I want more scenes with Lydia because Lydia is one of my favorite characters in this show right now. There's so much they can do with her. And they're just not using her right now. Then, after they split because of the Carol almost shooting Alpha, we get a scene with Michonne, and they're just in the woods. Carol says the bitch has to die. Cool. I think it's odd when Carol curses. It's very out of character for her. In this case, it shows how, like, angry she is at Alpha, how not well that interaction went. She thought it would just be as easy as pulling a gun out and shooting Alpha. But no, people are afraid of Alpha because Alpha has a horde that's 10,000 walkers. And even then, if Alpha got killed, Beta could just release them and then they could go their merry way. So it doesn't really, like, killing Alpha, sure. I don't know if Alpha beheaded all 10 people, but at least Alpha is the leader. She's our main villain for this season. Then we cut to Aaron and Negan. They are fighting their walkers, and they get into an argument about stuff. Negan finds a... What is it? Thing used to open wooden crates. A crowbar! So, Negan finds the crowbar near the vehicle that's dead, that him and Aaron are killing these walkers around. He wants to use it, but Aaron says, no, you have to use the broomstick. Or whatever. Negan calls it a broomstick. Later, Negan almost gets, like his broomstick breaks, so he picks up the crowbar, and Aaron, because of that, Aaron wants to take him back, so he tells him to put the shackles on. And Negan's like, I'll go back. That's what I want to do, because he's being selfish, because he doesn't want to die. And then they get into the argument, which this is 6 years after it happened, which I guess he never got closure. What I'm talking about is Aaron asks Negan why Eric had to die, why the love of his life had to die, and Negan gives this really great monologue about how if you're the man of the house, you have to protect it, protect everything inside, and basically he's telling Aaron that it was his fault, and then Aaron gets back at him that Negan did the same thing with his wife, and that's why his wife is dead. And then the walkers show up. There's this plant that's on them, which is why Negan has a rash earlier in the episode. It gets on Aaron's eyes to where he can't see. I think it starts with an H. If you know, comment down below what it's called. And Negan walks away, and Aaron blindly goes to follow him. We cut back to Carol. She's starting hallucinations. She thinks she's seeing walkers when nobody else does. Michonne doesn't believe her, but Daryl does. It's not inner conflict yet. It's just later in the episode. One believes her and one doesn't. They go to this school where she hallucinates on a book about home economics that she's there, and then all the kids on that thing are dead. One of them might have been Henry. I don't know. This is really where the episode becomes a horror. Very more horror than drama, because we get all these walkers, all these possible jump scare things. I don't think there was a full true jump scare, but it still worked. She's hallucinating a talk with Daryl. She's hallucinating. She's having dreams, and really we don't know what's real. She goes to walk around the school, steps on a noose that grabs her leg, goes up, and then I don't know who this is. I don't know if it's Gamma or Alpha. Another thing you need to let me know in the comments. Who is the Whisperer that's in the gymnasium that led the walkers to where Carol is hanging? Anyway, Carol gets away. She is stabbing the walkers around her, and she cuts the rope, falls on glass, and Daryl and Michonne have to bring her back. We get a scene with Rosita and Eugene. Basically, in the end, is Rosita telling Eugene they're never going to happen. They weren't ever really a thing. Eugene's also not the father of the baby, so it never will be. So now we're down from 3 possible dads to 2. And it's just this whole daddy drama is annoying because it's just a baby. It's Coco. I mean, yes, relationships are important. I'm not being like nihilistic or anything, but I'd rather get to more interesting things. I think this is one of the least interesting things in the season. When they bring Carol back to where Siddiq and Dante, the doctor dude, who came back, who showed up in the first episode of the season, they have to remove the glass from Carol's leg when she cut herself down. And Siddiq's PTSD is starting up. Again, he had a panic attack in the council room where Michonne noticed, and Dante just says, "I'll do it." And then Carol's leg, the glass has been removed from her leg. There's a scene later where after Michonne talks with Siddiq, Dante comes over, and Dante has figured out that Siddiq has PTSD. Dante reveals that he was in the military and he was in Iraq, and something went wrong with his patrol to where everyone died but him, and he has guilt over that, and he had his own spouse through PTSD. And then they share a drink. My thoughts about Dante is, because he's so new, it's hard for me to trust him yet. We were able to see how easy Alpha was to just put on a wig, basically a dead woman's scalp, and get into the kingdom. So Dante, he could still be someone in the Whisperers. I don't know if that's true or not. I like him at the same time. He's very funny. He's someone that Siddiq can actually talk about his PTSD with. Maybe Siddiq is hiding something. Like, maybe he had a choice of who died. Or, like, he did something. Maybe Siddiq is secretly with the Whisperers now because he's not dead. It's hard for me to tell. I'm sure that will be revealed more. I mean, we might see more of what happened when they died. Then we get this scene where Carol comes down from her bedroom. Daryl's cooking, then Henry shows up at the table, so we're like, oh, we know what to dream. Well, there was also this stuff about money going to the store. So basically, like, this is what Carol would have wanted if the world was normal. Daryl to be her husband, and Henry to still be her son. Both of which cannot happen. Daryl is not going to be with Carol. I think Daryl is going to be with Connie, because they are really good together. The last scene with our main characters is... we got a scene very earlier in the episode of Michonne walking into Judith's room, or RJ's room, considering that was where he was sleeping in the end of the episode. And Judith is like, sleep is when it's safe. And she asks Michonne, is it safe? And Michonne says no at the beginning of the episode. And then at the end, Michonne, when Judith asks if it's safe, Michonne says, for now. And then they both get into the bed with RJ. And Michonne makes sure that Judith is actually going to sleep. Judith wasn't. And it's nice to see that Judith has such a protective responsibility over RJ. A lot of siblings don't. But I mean, in the times of the apocalypse, I get that. I can understand. It's good. It's really good. Because then Michonne doesn't have to fully worry about RJ. She knows that there's a capable little girl. Of course, not really against an adult. But if there were walkers, Judith could protect RJ. And the reveal we get at the very end of the episode is there is a Whisperer that is injured. And I really think it's Alpha. And then it cuts to credits. So those, I fully think it's Alpha. If it is, that's very interesting. That's a very interesting choice to do. I don't know if maybe... what if Alpha was one of the three that Carol saw in the woods, and I think Carol shot 2 bullets or 1, and one of them hit Alpha. I don't remember where the injury is, but it could have grazed Alpha to where she's injured now. That could have happened. I don't think Carol was holding a knife, but I don't think she actually got any hits on that Whisperer. So those are my main thoughts, talking about the plot. Again, I really enjoyed this episode. I think it's the strongest one this season. It's the most fitting into October, it being Halloween coming up in a week and a half or so. And I'm really excited to see what we're getting next episode. The trailer shows we're back with the new people, Luke and all of them. Lydia was shown. And I'm just really, really excited for how the season progresses. Are we gonna kill Alpha this season? I feel like they can. I don't like having Negan was a villain for way too long. And I know they wanted to give All Out War the attention to detail, but again, way too long for Negan to be the main villain. So yeah. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe if you will, and that bell notification so that you know when new videos are uploaded. And I will see y'all in the next video.